So hi everyone, I'm finally back. But today's video is not going to about any of app or game that I made. Today's topic is something completely different, and honestly, I don't think anyone in Minecraft Pocket Edition community has properly covered this topic from this angle before. So let's start the video. If you play on PvP server, especially MCPE 0.15.10 PvP server, so you have probably heard of word like zero move or grabber. And the interesting thing is, I mostly hear these terms being used by old Minecraft Pocket Edition players. They are not really established terms you normally see in the official Minecraft PvP ecosystem. Now imagine if you are fighting someone in duel and your aim is average but your movements are really good. You are constantly strafing left to right, changing direction and dodging your opponent's hits. And let's say the player loses. Normally, you would expect appreciation. Normally, you would expect them to think, okay, that guy had really good movement. I have to improve. But no, instead, they call you crabber or maybe zero move. And you're sitting there thinking, what? I'm not using hacks, my connection isn't bad, I'm literally just moving. So, what exactly is this guy talking about? And then they explain that apparently you are using weird movements. The logic behind the name is supposedly that crab move unpredictably from left to right and you are doing the same thing. Now doesn't that sound little stupid to you? Because that's exactly what I thought. Actually around 2 months ago I fought someone named Cyrix. I completely destroyed him and after the fight I got accused of exactly the same thing. And I was just thinking, what exactly did I do? And if you still do not understand what crabbing apparently means, let me give you an example. Imagine this is your opponent. They are constantly moving left to right and right to left, making it harder for you to land your hits. Apparently, some 0.10 player call exactly this movement crabbing. And this is where my question starts. What is actual problem here? What are you even complaining about? That your opponent isn't letting you hit them? That is literally the point of PvP. Your opponent is not supposed to stand there and let you hit them. It's like cricket bowler complaining that a batsman keep trying to hit the ball instead of just standing there. And the funniest part is that crabbing isn't even some widely established term that you normally see across official Minecraft PvP. It's basically a label used by certain player and the problem I have with this term is how it get used. A lot of the time it doesn't seem to be used actually criticize gameplay. It used to explain loss. The player lost. So what's the reason? Was the opponent better? No. He was crabbing. If you cannot hit someone because they are moving unpredictably, and you have two options. You can learn how to counter their movement or you can call them crabber. And apparently the second option is much easier because improving your aim takes time. But calling someone crabber takes 2 seconds and it gets even funnier when some player literally give themselves title like #1 Indian, #1 Bangladeshi, #1 Pakistani. But the moment someone beats them in PvP, suddenly the opponent is crabber. Bro, if you are actually number one, shouldn't your reaction be to understand how the player managed to beat you? But no, there is a difference between confidence and self-glazing. Some people cross that line so hard that they end up in another district. I'm not saying I'm some insane PvP player. I'm not claiming I'm number one. I know there are plenty of players that are better than me, but that's exactly why I found this whole thing so stupid. If someone beats me, I'm not going to call them a crabber. I'm going to think, okay, this guy played better than me because apparently saying that sentence caused too much damage to some people's ego. And if you actually want to call out some problem in PvP community, then talk about the things that actually affect gameplay. If a UHC mode gives players 64 golden apples, then that's actually something worth discussing. Why 64? Why not 10? That is an actual game balance discussion. Healing economy, fight duration, competitive gameplay, those are actual topic worth discussing. But calling someone a crabber because they move left and right, bro, that isn't PvP analysis. Another thing, player use left and right movement in Java, player use left right movement in modern Bedrock, player use movement in Pocket Edition too. That's literally why the game gives you movement control. So when you call someone crabber because they are moving unpredictably, what are you actually saying? Please move in a straight line so I can easily hit you. Then why are you even playing PvP? Go fight a training dummy. At least it won't move. And the argument that confusing movement is unfair doesn't really make sense either. The either purpose of confusing movement is to make your opponent confused. Your opponent is going to move next. Congratulations, their movement is working. And that's the difference between competitive PvP and ego PvP. A competitive player loses and thinks, what can I improve? And a egoistic player loses and thinks, what should I call this guy? Crabber, zero move, lagger, sweat, try hard. And the most ironic part is when someone beats you and you call them a crabber, you are actually complimenting them without realizing it. You are basically admitting that their movement was effective enough that you couldn't properly hit them. The only difference is that you were too busy protecting your ego to call it a compliment. So you turned it into an insult. And that's my entire point. Crabbing isn't some magical PvP crime. Strafing, dodging, changing this direction, and unpredictable movement are all part of PvP. If someone is difficult for you to deal with, that doesn't actually mean the player is doing something wrong unless they use some kind of hacks. And that's completely normal. Every player loses sometimes you are better, sometimes the other guy is better, sometimes your aim is better, sometimes their movement is better, and sometimes the answer is very simple: you lost. That's it. There is no need to blame an entire species of crab for it. Maybe the problem is that they cannot accept that someone else had better movement in fight. And honestly, I think the community should spend less time creating random labels and more time discussing actual PvP issues. Because if every loss comes with a new name for opponent, eventually we are going to need a dictionary instead of PvP leaderboard. If you have ever seen someone get called grabber or zero move simply because of their movement, let me know your experience in comments. And honestly, I have a simple solution for this. Now, the next time someone loses to you and calls you crabber, don't even argue with them. Just reply with two words: Cope Lord. Let's make Cope Lord the official slang to counter this problem. You lost, your aim is garbage. You are making excuses to protect your fragile ego. You are a Cope Lord. Well, yeah, that's it for today's video. I'll see you guys in another video. Take care, buddy. Peace out. Bye.